Okay, welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we have another album reaction. I had one in the works before doing this one, but it kind of met with some copyright issues, some blockage, and you know the gist. So I have to put that one on hold for a bit. So today we're just going to move on to the next one for now. We got an album reaction request. We got requested to do Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. This album was written by Jim Steinman. Came out in 1977. 7 songs, 46 minutes, 31 seconds. So yeah, some long tracks. Let's go. So this video here is going to be the start of something new. Kind of a new system we have going on here. Alright. If you want to listen to the album, stream it, you know, whatever you want to do. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. Amazon Music. If you have the vinyl, if you have the CD, you can listen to it there. But we're not going to be showcasing any of the music here today due to copyright reasons. Alright, we got a couple of claims, and you know, I've been talking about this before, so I need to start monetizing my videos. So if you're here just for the reaction, fair play, thank you very much. But if you are here solely to listen to the album, then unfortunately you are watching the wrong YouTuber. I am here solely for reacting and giving my thoughts. So like I mentioned, if you want to listen to this album or listen to some of the tracks, you know where to stream it. Okay, that's over with. So let's jump in and I will give you my thoughts. Okay, before we jump into the album, we're gonna set the tone first.
I bet you say that to...
Okay, Bat Out of Hell, opening track, title track. That was superb. Very, very well done. First 2 minutes you have the piano, you have the guitar, nice instrumental going. And then the first verse just kicks it off. The songwriting by Jim Steinman. I feel he definitely took inspiration or at least influence from Bruce Springsteen whilst writing this track. You could hear it. You could. Like, I was thinking to myself whilst listening to this, I haven't heard a ballad or a long ballad quite like this since, you know, Thunder Road or Jungle Land. And it gave me that Born to Run kind of vibe. Very vivid imagery, like I was saying, with the instrumental coming in the first 2 minutes and then the first verse. Like, let me just read out a bit here for you. The sirens are screaming and the fires are howling. Way down in the valley tonight. There's a man in the shadows with a gun in his eye and a blade shining oh so bright. There's evil in the air and there's thunder in the sky and the killers on the bloodshot streets. Oh, and down in the tunnel where the deadly are rising. Oh, I swear I saw a young boy down in the gutter. He was starting to foam in the heat. So, like, just very vivid imagery, okay? The lyrics, you don't want to mess with the songwriting here. I feel like there's a lot of verses that you could kind of dive in and kind of analyze the lyrics a bit more, but overall, you know, it is that sort of theme, this kind of motorbike rider. Like here, for example, I'm gonna hit the highway like a battering ram on a silver black phantom bike. Oh, and when the metal is hot and the engine is hungry and we're all about to see the light. So like that, it's just a crazy tune, right? Definitely a rock and roll classic. I would have loved to have seen people's reactions when this first got released back in 1977. Like, you're not really expecting it unless people knew about Jim Steinman and Meat Loaf's work. But if you were kind of new to it and you wanted to just play a random track and this came on, it's something that you don't really expect unless you're familiar. Some of the hits that Jim wrote I am familiar with, mainly with Bonnie Tyler, but with Meat Loaf there's a lot I don't know. Okay, 2 tracks down. That was You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth. That was a great follow-up track. Alright, there was a lot going on. It kind of continues on that consistency of using vivid imagery in the songwriting, for sure. And the opening bit with it sounded more like it was being said on a Broadway stage or like a theater. It felt like an acting kind of class exercise. In a weird way, to me, that meant that the protagonist, who's obviously the wolf in that situation with the red roses, was asking permission to kiss this woman in front of him. And then at the end, he was like, "Oh, I bet you say that to all the boys." So that was kind of cute. But I get the whole song is all about the protagonist's kind of first kiss, which is a nice sort of song to write about. I love the title, and I love the way Meat Loaf sings the title. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's a very powerful statement in a way, and he uses once again a lot of vivid imagery within the songwriting. And you can kind of, while you're listening, I'm kind of keeping track of the lyrics, but as you're listening to it as well, you can kind of picture the scenario. And I think once a writer or a songwriter or any kind of writer can achieve that with the viewer or the listener, then that's basically a job well done. Like here, for example, "Oh, you were licking your lips and your lipstick shining. I was dying just to ask for a taste. Oh, we were lying together in a silver lining. By the light of the moon, you know there's not another moment, not another moment." So you can kind of picture like, "Oh, you were licking your lips and your lipstick shining. I was dying just to ask for a taste." You can already kind of picture what's going on. So I think he really mastered that sort of vivid imagery. And yeah, you got to give it kudos. Listening to the vocals, Meat Loaf was on point once again. The instrumental, the backing kind of chorus, and the backing track, the backing vocal with the women, very powerful. Still continuing off strong from Bat Out of Hell. Yeah, this was another really smooth track. I enjoyed this one. A good listen. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, Heaven Can Wait, third track in. We got the more emotional kind of at peace kind of Meatloaf, a different side to his vocal range once again. He's not as heavy as he was on Bat Out of Hell or You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, but uh, it's a nice kind of relaxing tune. Like the title suggests, Heaven Can Wait. It's sort of, I suppose, what I gathered from it. The protagonist is sort of at peace now. At kind of he's enjoying the days he has, and he's in no rush to kind of go on up to the sky in a way. Like, let me just read some of the lyrics here. I've got a taste of paradise. I'm never gonna let it slip away. I got a taste of paradise. That's all I really need to make me stay. Just like a child again. Heaven can wait. So yeah, he's experiencing his kind of nostalgic days. He's kind of, as an adult, I suppose, he's kind of gotten back to finding his true kind of happiness once again. And maybe before that, he was going through a stage of depression, but now he's sort of at peace, at ease with himself, and is no longer wanting to go on up to the spirits in the sky. So like that, the instrumental I really enjoyed. The vocal, I really liked that side of Meatloaf. Songwriting once again, the songwriting. It's getting better and better with the songwriting. The songwriting is just so on point. It's so clever. There isn't as much imagery in here, but you can kind of, what's the word? You can just enjoy the song for what it is, what it means, what it entails. It's still deep, emotional, meaningful. And yeah, I think we're doing good so far. Oh my days. Oh my days. Normally, I don't like giving favorite tracks, okay? But that was something else. I can definitely tell you that got me moving the most. There was so much going on with that song. Once again, it's given me Bruce Springsteen vibes. I felt musically and lyrically, all revved up with no place to go. Kind of reminded me of like Born to Run, because, he's all revved up, but he has no place to go. It's like Born to Run. Maybe we were born to run. Some of the lyrics here just gave me that sort of Bruce Springsteen tinge, like a little bit of influence there. But look, I'm not going to just always compare it to Bruce, because that's not the case. This is something else completely. But it would be cool to know if there was a little bit of influence or inspiration, even instrumentally and vocally, or lyrically. In the last verse here, I sincerely thought he was going to rap, or he was about to rap, because he was singing so fast. It really got you moving, and then like towards the end with the
all revved up with no place to go. All revved up with no place to go. All revved up with no place to go. All revved up with no place to go.
Other than the comparison I made with like, sort of he's all revved up but no place to go, he's nowhere to go, I'm not really too sure what else this song entails. Like my favorite lyrics would be, oh baby, I'm a hunter in the dark of the forest. I've been stalking you and tracking you down, cruising up and down the main drag all night long. We could be standing at the top of the world instead of sinking further down in the mud. You and me round about midnight. You and me round about midnight. Someone's got to draw first blood. Great song. Looking at Spotify, this track has the least amount of plays, which is crazy because I would have to say that it's my favorite song so far. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's an adrenaline booster. It was a roller coaster of emotions. It got me moving at various stages, and I just love the song overall. I don't have a highlight. I think the vocals, instrumental, songwriting all go really well together. With an album like this, and with an artist and with a songwriter like this, you can't really put one over the other. You know, they kind of make the dream team. Yeah, it's actually quite like it's a sad song, you know. It's about a relationship that's not ever gonna work. It's never gonna work. The two things, you know, I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you. Nuclear bomb. My favorite. I love the bit here. Right, where was it? The lyrics, but you've been cold to me so long, I'm crying icicles instead of tears. That's so good. That's so good. That's more of a roast, more like a diss, you know, like a burn. Damn. Once again, like, I feel Jim Steinman went down as one of the greatest songwriters to have ever lived. Like, to be honest, I've been reacting to albums and different artists and stuff like that, but I don't think, apart from Bruce, but I don't think I've heard tracks like this where it goes into so much detail with the songwriting. The vivid imagery, the beautifully descriptive words, the vocal of Meatloaf putting it all together. And this was a softer side of Meatloaf, more of a emotional kind of, you felt his pain. I definitely felt the pain, you know, through his voice. That was very heartbreaking. And towards the end as well, I think he said this at the beginning, but maybe we can talk all night, but that ain't getting us nowhere. So no matter how long they talk, or, you know, whatever, that's not going to do anything. It's not going to do any good. He's not going to change his mind. He made up his opinion. Damn. It's actually very, very powerful, but it shows the reality of a lot of relationships out there too. I told you everything I possibly can. There's nothing left inside of here. And maybe you can cry all night, but that'll never change the way that I feel. The snow is really piling up outside. I wish you wouldn't make me leave here. Yeah, I read that wrong first. I thought he was saying, I wish you wouldn't make me leave you out here in the snow. Yeah, that was a great track. I don't know. I'm not stamping any more favorites because that track is, to be honest, like, whenever you listen to a new track, I think it's going to become your favorite. So yeah, and don't expect any kind of top 3 or my top 3 favorites, because so far it's kind of impossible. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Another 8.5 minute, well, the other one wasn't 8.5 minutes, but another classic ballad. One of those long tracks. My guy went from being excited about his first kiss to saying that 2 out of the 3 ain't bad, right? That he will never love her. And now he's finding it hard to commit to a relationship. He can't answer all those questions. He doesn't want to. But then when he finally does, he says, yes, I will. But I can't wait until the end of time finally arrives. So, yeah, bit heartbreaking once again. So look, a lot going on there. That was featuring an artist called Ellen Foley. I'm not familiar with her, but she sounded incredible within this track. For a second, I thought it would have been Bonnie Tyler when I first heard the voice, but as it went on, I kind of knew it wasn't. You can let me know down below, did Bonnie and Meat Loaf ever do a song together? Because I feel like they would mix well. Okay, let me analyze it for a second, okay? So basically a young boy and a young girl parked in a car by the lake, hooking up, and after the hookup, the girl kind of goes on with all of her questioning, and she has to know right now, before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away and will you make me your wife? Do you love me? So obviously she feels the connection. Him, on the other hand, is taking it as just this fun experience and isn't ready to dive in, And finally, when, like I said earlier, when he admits it, he's waiting for that time to come, waiting for the end. So yeah, that questioning by Ellen Foley, when that came in, it reminded me of the second track. You took the words right out of my mouth with the opener, where she's questioning the wolf, the guy, about like does he love me, or will he love me and stuff like that, and he's saying yes. So it reminded me of that a little bit, which is kind of cool. I like the whole questioning, rhetorical kind of questions as well in Jim Steinman's songwriting. But like that, this is another classic. There's not much to say about it. Very similar to Bat Out of Hell. I do like the back and forth with the male and female vocal in this though. Yeah. Holy cow, stolen bass. He's taking a pretty big lead out there, almost daring him to try and pick him off. The picture glances over, winds up, and it's bunted. Yeah, the commentary. The commentary. Oh, that was a nice addition. Okay, moving on to the last track. Okay, that is it. We are finished. That was the last track, and what a track it was. So analyzing the track for a second, I heard a couple of references to previous tracks within the album, within that track. What this track was really about and what the team kind of dug into was, you know, the protagonist proclaiming his love for somebody who was there for him despite everything, you know, despite good and bad. She was there, or he was there. Yeah, very, very emotional, kind of meaningful. And from the previous songs where he was kind of this bad boy, not wanting to get into a relationship, him wanting his first kiss, and then he went on to the relationship thing, admitting that he doesn't love someone. Up until then, admitting that he loves someone, but wanting the end to arrive early. And now to this, where he's basically wrapping up the whole album, and it's just a deep, emotional track with Meat Loaf's vocal range, operatic tone. You know, it goes from slow to sort of admitting and proclaiming his love in sort of a raged manner, but not raged in a bad way, raged in a powerful way, an impactful way. And then, you know, the operatic tones as well, the cinematic instrumental that's going on in the background. A great way to end a fantastic album, in my opinion. You had the bombastic Bat Out of Hell as the opener, and then you have this as the finale. Curtains close, you know, that's it. So no, look, I'm very impressed with that listen. The whole album, really. I have no flaws, which is unlike me. I usually have 1 or 2 flaws, maybe 3 flaws with an album, but it's actually hard to pick any flaw at all with that one. I'm surprised I never dug into this sooner. Thank you for the request on the channel. I would appreciate more requests. So that's what we done today. We done somebody's request, and I'm glad we done it. I can now say I'm a purified fan of Meat Loaf and Jim Steinman after listening to that beast of an album. Okay, we're going to wrap it up there. Okay, I've been Blizzards. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, this is sort of a new way we're trying things. It's probably going to be incorporated into future videos just for copyright and monetization purposes. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. There may be a way where I could do the uncensored versions on someplace, like, I don't know. Look, we won't really dig into that right now, but it would be great if you could check out the Patreon. I always appreciate new supporters over there. So anything to help the channel going, you know. But for now, we're going to leave it there. It's time for a nightcap. I will talk to you in the next one. Peace out.